Hello guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and we're doing a cook today. So we're going to do a cheesy steak pasta, kind of like a Philly cheese steak, but not quite. It's our own version of it. So we're going to slice up a bit of steak. I have a couple of rump steaks here. They're not too thick, but we're going to slice these nice and thin anyway, so you don't need to go for the best of the best steaks. That's why we're using rump steak. Also then we're going to cut up a red pepper, a green pepper, and one onion, just to get our veggies into it. And we're actually going to make the whole thing on the carbon steel wok from Kamado Joe. Not typically a dish you might make in a wok, but it gives you a nice big surface area to get all your cooking done. Cooks it down nice and fast. Plenty of room to move everything about and get a bit of colour on it. So I think it's going to work pretty well. So this is really all the prep work we have to do. So we'll go ahead, get that all cut down, ready to go. Then we're moving over and everything's just going in one at a time into that wok. Okay, that's all our knife work done. Our beef cut into nice thin strips here. We've cut it against the grain, so hopefully we can cook it quickly and it'll still be nice and tender. We do need to season it up, so we're going to use a bit of the Steakhouse Gaucho seasoning from the Smokey Carter. We'll just spread everything out in the bowl, give it a liberal shake over. It's a nice chunky rub this. Mix everything around. One more shake over. Right, we'll let that sit and chill out. We're going to cook our veggies first, but we'll move everything over to the KJ now. I'll show you how to set the wok up, and we'll get the veggies on to cook first. Okay, we have a fire lit in the bottom on our charcoal basket. The accessory rack is in the middle level, so we've took out all the grates and stuff. We don't need them, and no diffusers in. The accessory rack gives us a nice area to set our pan onto. So if we go in with our carbon steel wok, with a little bit of oil in here, we'll just preheat it and let it coat the pan. So with our oil warmed up, then we can go in with our veg. Give it all a mix around. Spread it out, we'll let that go for a little while and cook down. Want them to soften most of the way before going with the beef. Okay, our veg have taken on a nice amount of colour. Now we want to go in with our steak and get some browning onto it as well. Now let that sear off for a second on the bottom of the pan, and then we'll mix it through just to get a little bit of colour on that instant contact with the wok. Our veggies aren't quite cooked all the way through either, so we're still going to want to cook them down a little bit as well. Jot that down. It's probably a good time to talk about what else we need then. We obviously know we need pasta, and we need cheese, or cheese sauce, or cheese to make into a sauce. So we're using about 200 grams of cream cheese. Full fat, go light if you want. About a cup of shredded mozzarella. I'm using the dry sort of stuff you use for pizza. Shred it yourself, but don't buy the pre-shredded stuff. And then about quarter to a third cup of good mature cheddar as well. Grate it. That's what's going to make the basis of our sauce. Let's give our steak a quick mix around. One good tip when you're cooking with the wok is to use the surface area. Don't leave everything heaped up in the middle of the wok. You want as much stuff to get in contact with that wok as possible, so spread it all out and use the full surface area as much as you can. It makes things cook a lot faster too. At this stage we're going to start adding the sauce in. Our steak is going to cook super fast, so we do not need to worry about it being cooked all the way through. As long as we've got a bit of colour on all sides, you don't see anything that's really overly pink, we'll be fine. We'll add our pasta in first. This is about 300 grams of uncooked pasta cooked, so it should be enough for about 4 people. And so we'll add that into the pan. Give it a quick mix. Now we'll start to go in with our sauce ingredients. So go with our cream cheese, mozzarella, and our cheddar. Just start to mix that through. Also kept a little splash of our starchy pasta water just to try and loosen everything down a little bit and turn it into more of a sauce. We'll just add a little drizzle of that in around as well. Create a little bit of steam, help that cheese melt down, and just make it a little bit creamier. Okay, cheese is all melted down, coat it the pasta nicely. Add one last little bit of our starch water, just to loosen it a tiny little bit before it comes off, and one last dusting of our Gaucho rub. Let's eat. That looks pretty good to me. Smells awesome. Nice and creamy. Not too saucy that it's a bit overpowering, but you definitely smell that rub coming through on it, which is nice. Let's give it a go. This steak worked perfectly. It's still nice and tender for being a sort of, you know, Rump's obviously not the best cut in the world, but cutting it against the grain, sort of flash frying it nearly in the bottom of that wok, and then getting everything else going in the meantime. It tastes good. That was a definite keeper. If you don't have the wok, well, I highly suggest you get it. I've done a few things out now, and I really like it. I think the thing I like about it the most is the size. We've had other woks in the past, but they've never been quite big enough. The whole point of a wok is you get stuff moving around it, lots of surface area, spread everything out, get plenty of heat, cook things nice and fast. And this one has worked an absolute dream. But if you don't have one, it'll work just as well in a skillet or a big Dutch oven or something that you can get a lot of stuff into and give it a nice mix around. But definitely check out the carbon steel wok if you haven't got one. I'll leave a recipe for this cook down in the description box below if you want to give it a try. If you do give it a try, tag me in your photos, let me know how you got on and what you thought of it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.